Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Eddie Sutton Show. I'm Robbie Robertson, along with Oklahoma State head basketball coach Eddie Sutton. Dean Blevins is on assignment this week. He'll be back next week. Busy week for the Cowboys. Last Thursday, Oklahoma State on the road to take on the Iowa State Cyclones. That one didn't turn out too well, Coach. Back home, take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers. That turned out to be just fine. Why don't you talk about your busy week?
Well, we're in Big 8 play, and the intensity level certainly has been turned up a notch. Everybody's playing hard. In Ames, Iowa, the first half we didn't play very well. We fell behind 14 points at intermission, came back in the second half, and I really felt like our team matured some in that game. It's not easy to play on the road, and they had a full house, very enthusiastic crowd, and we cut the lead to 3 points with less than a minute to go. Had they not hit free throws or had someone on our team made a big play, we had a chance to upset the Cyclones. Then we came back on Saturday and played Nebraska, and Mr. Iba would have been very proud of the effort on the part of both ball clubs. I have not been in a game this season where both teams played as hard as the two teams did. We didn't turn the ball over but 27 times. He wouldn't have liked that, but he would have liked the defensive play on the part of both ball clubs. And we were happy to get out with a victory because Danny Nee and the Cornhuskers will win a lot of ball games. They are very talented and very deep.
All right, let's take a look at the highlights. First, we'll go to Ames, Iowa, the Hilton Coliseum. Oklahoma State playing at Iowa State. Johnny Orr ill that night, so assistant Jim Hallahan ran the ball club against your coach that night.
Jim was 5-0 after this victory, but he went down to Columbia later in the week and got beat by Norm. I hope Johnny Orr recovers. I think he just got a bad case of the flu. You can see we're in the dark jerseys. Great effort by Milt Brown. That's what you call going after the basketball, attacking the glass. Assume every shot that your teammates put up is going to be missed and put it back, and that's what he did. They pressed. We ran a press breaker to perfection. In this ball game, we had 12 turnovers at halftime. In the second half, we only had 4 up until the last minute of play. Good steal by number 21, Scott Sutton, and he got the ball off to Brooks Thompson. He scores. There's Vaughn Bennett. Fred Burley goes up and gets a put back. We did a nice job in the board in this ball game, beat them 34-26. We shot 51% from the field. Didn't get that many free throws, but the ones we got, we hit 12 out of 14. But again, the big bugaboo, and that's the thing that's hurt us in our 3 losses, too many turnovers. It's what you call going high-low. The ball's in the high post area. Go down low to Bryant Reeves, and Bryant had 2 big ball games this week.
He sure draws a crowd too, doesn't he?
He does draw a crowd. Everybody, once he catches that ball low, they come after him.
Nice job defensively there by Bryant, and Cowboys get it up court. Great pass there by Brooks Thompson.
Super pass. Brooks made some turnovers, fouled out in this game, but again, in defense of Brooks, he's not playing the position that's most natural for him. But he did make some nice passes in both the game at Ames and also the game here in Stillwater against Nebraska.
Milt Brown takes it to the hoop. Pretty aggressive player, isn't he, Coach?
Milt Brown the last 2 games has played like I want Milt Brown to play and like I thought he would play. And if he continues to play that way, believe me, he's going to be hard to move out of the starting lineup. In this particular game, he had 6 points, but only shot it 4 times. Didn't turn the ball over. Played very good defense. Good effort on our part. We just weren't able to make the plays at the end. Plus, we got behind. It's hard to play catch-up anytime, but especially on the road.
You mentioned earlier that you got to within 3 points. I think it was 75-72 there late in the ball game. What does it take on the road to get over that hump and win those type of ball games?
Well, sometimes you need a friendly call, or you just need somebody to hit a 3-point shot, or for them to throw the ball away. When a game's that close, 1 or 2 plays can change the whole game around. The one thing I was most proud of, our team displayed some character. They could have thrown the towel in and got blown out. They didn't do that. They competed. They came back and put themselves in a position where they had a chance to win. What happens many times when you have to make up that many points on the road, you exert so much energy that you just don't have quite enough to get you over the hump.
After the ball game against Iowa State, it was really a quick turnaround for the Cowboys. Come back home on Saturday and take on the Nebraska Cornhuskers, but it's back in the friendly confines of Gallagher-Iba Arena. It's always nice to play there, and the crowd was really tough in this ball game.
The best crowd we've had all season long. They were outstanding, and they certainly deserve some honors for helping us win the ball game. They were sensational. I hope they'll be that way the remainder of the year. As I said, Nebraska is a very talented basketball team, and Danny Nee's playing 10 players, and all 10 of them scored. Good pick and roll. Bryant came over, set a screen. Brooks drove off of it. There was a switch, and Brooks delivered the ball back to Country.
And there's that
Milt
guy again. Milt with an offensive board, and
we out-rebounded this ball game 41-27. We shot 51%. We shot 77% at the line, and you'd say, "Guy Starn, you must have blown them out." No, we didn't, because we made too many mistakes turning the ball over. Danny Nee got a technical foul. He wasn't real pleased with the call, and you want to get a technical foul if you're going to get one when the other team has the ball, and that didn't happen. Brooks hit 4 free throws, and then we took the ball out of bounds. So that kept us in the ball game the first half. This is first half action. And
well, we've moved to the second half. Brooks hit a 3 at the start of the second half, and Burley gets the jam right there.
There was a nice pass by Brooks off to Fred, and we had 4 out of our 5 starters in this game scoring double figures, led by Bryant Reeves. It's Randy Rutherford. He had 10 points. Bryant had 22 points, 15 rebounds, and 6 blocked shots. Just an outstanding performance.
Pretty good day's work.
Another nice pass. That's what you must get in your mind. That's one thing our players sometimes don't do. You must attack the offensive basket when people press you. You can't be passive. You can't be content just to get the ball across the midcourt line. Another great pass from Thompson to Milt. Brooks had 8 assists in this game. There's Country with a good turnaround shot. He had 22 points, and he only took 7 field goal attempts. He was 14 out of 18 from the free throw line. That's really great production.
33 of 43 from the free throw line for Oklahoma State as you win it 78-73. And when you've got those big guys down there, Coach, you want to get that ball inside. And as you said, Bryant Reeves only had 7 shots, but 14 points from the free throw line.
Well, one thing, Danny seemed to be a little displeased with the officiating because we did shoot a lot more free throws, but for our fans, they might not quite understand, some of them anyway, if you jam the ball down low and you get it inside, you're going to get fouled more times than if you're content to shoot perimeter shots, and that's basically what that game was all about. We really tried to work the ball inside, and we did, and once we got it down there, Nebraska had to foul. They were very content to shoot the ball out on the floor, and as a result, we didn't foul as much.
Played with a great deal of emotion, though. Is the ball club beginning to understand now the intensity level rises in Big 8 play, and especially nice to get home and win the first conference game?
Robbie, I really believe that our team did mature some this week. We won one, we lost one, but even in defeat, I felt like that we played better, we played harder. And in the game with Nebraska, there's no doubt that was the hardest that this team has played for 40 minutes all season long. And the other thing that was very evident, and I've had a lot of fans come up to me and tell me this, it looked like the team was really together. Our bench was alive, enthusiastic, and when somebody make a good play, they'd run up and pat him on the fanny or hug him. And that's what we saw last year and the year before with our ball clubs. That has been missing a little bit. Not that our players are selfish in any way, but I think they're just young and immature, and they didn't realize that, hey, when we're all together, we got a lot better chance of winning.
Okay, we're going to take a break. The play of the week is next. Stay with us as the Eddie Sutton Show continues right after this. Big Country had a bunch of plays of the week, Coach. He played a pretty complete ball game against Nebraska.
Yes, he did. There you see him scoring 2 of his 22 points. We mentioned earlier he only shot it 7 times. He actually shot it 16 times, but 9 of those field goal attempts he was fouled. There you see him going after the basketball. I told Brian after the game I thought he was the most competitive that I'd ever seen him. His father told him the same thing. And I said, now that you've done it once, you can do it every game. But there you saw him hitting a free throw. And watch this. This is effort. look at him. They attack him, and there's a good example of just not letting him have the basketball.
He had a very good ball game, and after the game on the post-game show, I heard him talk about accepting a leadership role on the ball club. How has he matured in that sense?
Well, sometimes it's difficult for a young player to fully understand that he can be a leader even though he's just a sophomore. And you can always lead by example regardless of what classification you are. But it seems to me that in that ball game, his body language was one that said, hey guys, look at me. I'm playing my heart out. I'm playing as hard as I can play. You can do the same thing. And that's a good example of leadership. And I really believe he has gained a lot of confidence. He knows he's playing well, or he knows he played well in that particular game. Our players respect him. You can't be a leader unless you're respected by your peer group. And so that's encouraging to hear him vocally say that. We've been trying to encourage him that he does have a responsibility to be a leader even though he's just a sophomore.
We're going to take a quick break here and hear from Southwest Airlines, and then we'll come back and have Coach's Corner. Stay with us. The Eddie Sutton Show will be back right after this. On January 15th, Oklahoma State University and really all of college athletics lost a dear friend when Mr. Henry Iba died at the age of 88. And Coach, I know you played for the man. You were very good friends with the man, and I think many of us that know him don't realize the impact that this man had on people until you start hearing what other people from throughout the country say about Mr. Iba. Can you reflect on some of your thoughts about Mr. Iba?
Not only the country, the world. I don't think people realized what an impact he had on the game of basketball. No one had any more of an impact than Mr. Iba. It's hard to describe him. I could do a dissertation on him because not only a great basketball coach, but I think the thing that set him aside, he was a giant of a man, a quality human being, a person that had great warmth and compassion for other people, and just by knowing him, you became a better person. There's a great shot of Mr. Iba with Mo, his only son, and of course coaches at TCU now, but Mr. Iba was a friend to everybody that played. He tried to teach us a set of values that would allow us to be successful once we left college. And I think if you'll trace all the players that played for him, most of them have become very successful. On the basketball court, he had a philosophy that, hey, go play the game hard. Play it to the best of your ability. God's given you so much talent, utilize it. Defensively, he said if you can't stop your opponents, you're not going to win. And you better learn to take care of the basketball or you're not going to win either. He also taught us that it was a team game. And the thing he did, all these qualities that allowed us to be winners on the basketball court, if you would have applied those in your everyday life, you became a winner. Class in every manner that he took part in, loved by the people here in this state, this university, but worldwide. The thing that always amazed me, I never heard a coach say a negative thing about Mr. Iba, and in the competitive world that we play the game, that doesn't happen very often. I think that more than anyone that I've ever met, he taught all of us what loyalty is all about. He dearly loved Oklahoma State. He loved the state of Oklahoma. And I guess these last 2 years have been the best years that I've ever had coaching because he came here to practice every day. He was a friend. And in a small way, maybe what he gave to me and OSU has given to me, I've been able to give back a little to him those last 2 years because he had a lot of fun. And I guess you never want to give up loved ones. And I think anybody that knew Mr. Iba loved him. But if you're a true Christian, then you know that he's in a better place today. So we'll miss him, but what a marvelous man.
And I know you loved him, and I appreciate you taking time and sharing your thoughts with us. We'll be back right after this. The Cowboys are on the road twice this week. We'll talk about that in a second. Let's take a look at the results from last Saturday and get you caught up here. Oklahoma State beating Nebraska at home 78-73. Missouri beat Iowa State 64-49. That ball game was played in Columbia. Kansas State wins another one in overtime over Colorado 83-78. Kansas was out of conference play as they beat Louisville 98-77. So the Big 8 standings look like this. Kansas now ranked number 1 in the nation. Kansas, Kansas State, and Missouri all 2-0 in conference play. You can see the overall record out there to the right. Oklahoma's 1-1. The Cowboys and Iowa State are 1-2. Nebraska and Colorado have yet to win in Big 8 conference play. So I know you mentioned last week, Coach, that you thought Kansas was a little bit above everybody else, and now with Virginia getting knocked off, with Duke getting knocked off twice, that puts Kansas now the number 1 team in the nation. That probably doesn't surprise you very much.
Kansas is playing very well, and anytime you go into Freedom Hall in Louisville and you're up 18 points at halftime on a Denny Crum team, you know you're a good basketball team. And I was impressed by watching them come from behind against University of Oklahoma. I think Kansas is probably one of the 4 or 5 best teams in the country. If they all played a series, maybe they would split. I don't know. But Kansas, Duke, North Carolina, Indiana, and Michigan are plenty good. Now, there's some other good teams, but I think those are the 5 best ball clubs. Okay,
let's quickly take a look at the schedule. This show was taped earlier in the week because of scheduling, so there are several non-conference games prior to Saturday the 23rd, but Kansas will be at Colorado, Oklahoma will be at Iowa State, Kansas State plays at Nebraska, Oklahoma State plays on Thursday night against Oral Roberts, and then Sunday the Cowboys will go on the road for a national TV game on ABC to take on the Missouri Tigers. Coach, how about stepping out of conference play and playing Oral Roberts in the middle of the week? Is that good, bad, indifferent?
No, I think it's all right. I think it's we need to go to Tulsa and play a game. We have such great fans over there, and that was part of the deal when we negotiated that we would go and we would play ORU a couple of games each year, and also they would allow us to use their arena, which they did when we played SMU earlier. Sometimes it doesn't hurt you to take a break during conference play. I'm sure the intensity level will be quite high Thursday night with ORU, but it won't be anything like it'll be Sunday up in Columbia.
Right, and we'll talk about Oklahoma State at Missouri in just a second. We'll take this final break. The Eddie Sutton Show will be back right after this. On Sunday, Oklahoma State plays at the Missouri Tigers. That's a nasty place to play, Coach. Tell us about the Missouri Ball Club.
Well, I'm not sure there's any good place to play on the road, especially in the Big 8, but Missouri does have a very tough arena to play in, and not too many teams go in there and win, and especially when they have a good ball club. And Norm Stewart has another good basketball team. They lost Peeler, who's doing quite well for the Los Angeles Lakers, but they have 4 starters returning. They recruited a young man by the name of Atkins, who has taken up some of that slack lost by Peeler. They're 11-3. They're in the thick of the Big 8 race. Tough assignment Sunday afternoon, but hopefully our team can go in there and handle that pressure defense that they'll put on us and not turn it over. If we do those things that we've been doing quite well, then we got a chance to upset the Tigers.
Okay, Coach. Good luck to you against those Antlers and the Missouri Tigers, the support group there in Columbia. Thanks for being with us this time. Dean Blevins will be here next week. Check your local listings. For Eddie Sutton and Oklahoma State University, I'm Robbie Robertson. Goodbye, everybody.